Well, HP is in a category of a relatively small group of business partners that we've defined. So we kind of have suppliers and we have business partners, not a very long list. And these are strategically important partnerships that we've defined across the range of business. And that group is relatively new in its formation, and HP is in that category.
We realised, we're certainly very well aware that we needed to implement a GPRS billing solution. And we looked at a number of options in terms of this, around building our own from one side through to completely putting it out to somebody else to run it for us.
So our billing systems would not be able to bill on data content and using data. They're all around the duration of a call. So we could have invested a lot of money in trying to change our billing systems, or we could take the decision to actually buy in a package or a number of packages to support that. So what we did, we took the latter decision. We followed basically a principle of buy, not build.
It was very key to us that Portal and HP and PwC needed to work together as a partnership to deliver for us, with Vodafone involved as well.
We all recognise that we haven't been world-class at working with partners. The good news is, firstly, that we recognise that. Secondly, that some of our main competitors, like Sun, have become arrogant about their position. And thirdly, it's still a big problem for our customers.
Initially, when the project was awarded to both HP and PwC, we had some concerns of working with a competitor, and initially there was some suspicion on both sides. But as the project went on, the trust was built up, and we've actually brought each other additional projects in other areas as a result of this.
We had a very clear idea of what Vodafone was trying to do with GPRS from a business angle. Also, we have been doing a lot of work for Vodafone on their systems, which the GPRS billing system would have to interface to. So, if you like, what PwC brought to the party was an understanding of the GPRS program and the business requirements, and a very good understanding of the systems environment which the system would have to connect into.
Frankly, the biggest sort of concern was to get the product in the market so Vodafone could be seen to be in the game, leading, if you like, the mobile businesses in the UK in deploying the 2.5 and 3G technologies.
And there's a huge amount of money being ploughed into these 3G licenses, and there's a huge fear of not recouping the investment. So it's very important to think about the investment they've made and how we can accelerate those returns.
We all come with our own individual skills and strengths, and I guess the real magic is when you can use those strengths right across the organisation. So the sales guys use their strong selling skills, consultancy brings its strong technical skills, the sales support organisation bring their skills, and between us we actually mould what this wonderful living project and end up delivering what I think is extraordinary value to our customers.
Synergies come out of differences between organisations, in my view. You know, you won't get synergy between two organisations of identical strengths.
The HPC people tended to concentrate more on the application layer, so the specific, in this case it was Internet Usage Manager, as it was then, and Portal's intranet software. So they looked after that. I looked after more the underlying infrastructure that formed the solution.
I think what made it successful is that both organisations had a lot of expertise in their specific areas, HP in mediation in their product and us in terms of the systems environment and the business. And that enabled us to move the goalposts, if you like, of the project from what started as a short-term project into something which is really much more of a strategic solution for Vodafone.
In part, the exercise was to try and understand what the customer wanted, and then in part it would play to Mike's skills in being able to work into the account, move the message through the account, help set up and move meetings forward, and in part from the consulting side we were bringing some of the technical horsepower which understood the problems, understood what the solution should look like, and then between us we ended up moulding something together.
We brought a lot of good experience from the divisions in the US, in this case Cupertino, out to the labs to bear. And we had the trusted relationship of being able to say, we think what we're looking at as design here is 90% excellent, but in the other 10% area we suggest HP that we change the design for Vodafone.
It was a new solution. It was to do with the GPRS billing, never been done before, so it was all new and exciting. And it was good to see that it went into production on time.
We had a very tight time frame to get something in. We were very demanding as a customer, and we didn't really know exactly what we wanted. But I think that's the nature of the beast. So you've really got to spend time there working with us, understanding what it is we need, and then trying to scale the proposal to suit that.
We're looking for solutions and long-term relationships, not about whether or not you get the extra 20% out of a particular piece of work. So I think that's hugely successful, and it's a great sort of story to tell about HP's relationship with us.
The top of mind challenge in Vodafone is how they're going to make money. Specifically, how they're going to generate 25% of their revenues from data services by 2004. Now, our response to that is to take a proposition to them which is about creation of new services from a concept to revenue generation in 90 days. And that impacts us in many ways. Let me pull out two. The first is we're about taking solutions to them, bringing ideas to them. But it's not quite that simple, because everyone who turns up in the boardroom of Vodafone is talking about solutions, and our competitors send their best teams. Our challenge is to reinvent the solution message in the context of their specific problems.
Solution Vodafone took is one that is valid in other countries as well. So from that point of view, the mediation with Internet Usage Manager has been taken by a number of other mobile operators who look to Vodafone as an example of, oh yes, this is something that they've done, they've taken the risk, it works for them, we'll do the same.
Well, Vodafone is a very good example of a global company with who we have had successes in building new services, for example in the UK. But we have to know that Vodafone has plenty of subsidiaries around the world. So it's a matter of spreading that know-how at the right time and at the right levels in those subsidiaries, if we can say. And not only to these subsidiaries, but also to the competitors of Vodafone, in best practices of who is positioned where in Europe or elsewhere in the world, and bringing in the right experience.
And now we're really focused right the way through the executive team in Hewlett-Packard through to Carly in getting ourselves recognised as a strategic partner to address Vodafone's challenges for the future.
The best companies, as I can see it, are the ones that are taking time to understand the new market situation, get under the skin of what Vodafone's strategy is, and then tailor their products and services to Vodafone's strategy. And, as you're implying, then begin to look forward to where we're going to be in a year, 2, 3 years' time, and what we'll need to meet our needs at that point.